Video on something that I need to have a quick faff around with. Well, I'm certainly faffing, but it's never going to be quick, is it? Let's be honest. So, one of the functions that I do, there is a lady who's going to celebrate her 100th birthday. She is of German descent, and so they asked her what she wanted for a birthday meal, and she said she wanted steak brushed with mustard, rolled up with onions, and then slowly braised. Apparently, it's a German dish, and I looked it up, and there is such a thing. I forgot what it's called. I'll put it in the description. So I bought some roasting beef. It's probably something like topside. I've sliced it thin, and then I've battered it out between two layers of plastic with a rolling pin, just to kind of get it thin. We're going to do about the older people. They don't eat as much. People don't eat as much when they get older. Down to, yeah, so this is interesting. I kind of think I worked this out myself. Or maybe I heard it somewhere and I'm going to repeat it. Or maybe I just kind of got it entirely wrong. So, you lose muscle as you get older. So you don't, because your muscle, just being alive, your muscles burn energy. And because you haven't got the muscle mass anymore, you don't burn as much energy. Just not talking about exercise, but just being alive, you don't need as much energy, so you don't eat as much. And also that's a problem for, also kind of contributes for circulation problems, and also kind of keeping warm. So older people tend to get colder, and you kind of go, oh yeah, it's because they haven't got the muscle mass that keeps them warm, because it's constantly kind of like burning calories. Burning calories is probably the wrong type of terminology, which I've always got kind of like a problem with. I'm going to get off subject like I normally do. Like, I could never wrap my head around it. So if you want to work out the calorific value of food, what you do is you take a peanut, you set it on fire, and then you see how much that burning peanut heats up a litre of water at a set temperature, and how hotter that litre of water gets is the calorific value of a peanut. And that kind of equates to all kind of foods. And I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of quite interesting, but there's no furnace in my body burning food. I'm not burning peanuts. It's not like a boiler room, is it? But anyway, so that's what she wants. This is what we're going to do. So there is about 80 grams worth, in a bigger bit, there is about 80 grams worth of meat in these portions. That's probably about 80 grams. So what we'll do is we will dollop a bit of mustard on. I won't use English mustard, because it's German mustard tends to be sweeter. So I don't think I'll use English mustard. I think I'll buy some French mustard, or we might be able to pick up some German mustard. Probably be able to pick up some German mustard in Lidl. So I think I'll do that. I just need to put this together and then have a go. And then, to be honest, what did I said to the organizer, it's 100th birthday, so we really should do it, but I'm reluctant to do it because some of the people we cook for have, like, will turn their nose about carrots and peas for a vegetable. So I'm like, they're really gonna want to eat this. But anyway, so and you can't tell people, look, it's someone else's birthday, just put up and shut up. They don't want to hear that. Although I think they should do, actually. I think if it's someone else's birthday, I think you should put up and shut up and do what they want for their birthday. That's a personal thing, isn't it? It's like, I've had my birthdays ruined in the past, you can tell there, haven't you? Because of someone else. But then you have to do what they want for their birthday. So that's the idea. So we'll do a few, and then I'm not going to fry them off, which I suppose you probably do in a proper recipe. I'm just going to slowly braise them in the oven, and that'll be tomorrow when I do that, because I'm faffing around with stuff today. So that's just a no like that. So we'll do a few just to kind of get the idea. I always kind of think, do a few, and then you can see what I'm actually doing, because I think people, when you do something on a regular basis, you don't actually show people how you're doing it. You do it just automatically, and you don't do things slowly. So good teachers remember what it was like to learn something for the first time and adjust their teaching accordingly. So like that. So roll that up like that. We'll do another one. These shrink in there as we cook them. So remember, 2 spoons. So we've got 1 spoon in the mustard, and blob that on there like that. So then we're not touching meat, and then use the other spoon just to smooth over like that, because you don't want to stick that spoon that's had the meat juices on it back in the mustard, even though, to be honest, any kind of bacteria or anything that's in the meat, the mustard will probably kill it actually. But anyway, so, and I think what we'll do is I'll probably caramelise the onions, but these are the onions for something else. So I think we'll use caramelised onions when I do it, but I just want to get an idea of portion sizes and cost and all that kind of stuff. And you know, if I'm doing something that I haven't done before, we might as well make a video on it. There is loads of videos on this on YouTube, so I'm not doing anything new, but I kind of think that's not a reason to do things anyway, is it? So I haven't over seasoned this as well, so it could probably do with a bit. Well, I'm not going to cook it until tomorrow, so I don't want it too seasoned because the salt will start to draw the moisture out of things. So we'll do that. Are we going to do them all? You'll pause, I'll do them all. Right, so I have rolled them all up. Oh, now I'll get an idea of how much. Oh, I need to weigh how much. Which was the first one? Was that the first one? No, let's just. I'll get a plate and then I'll say how much onion I put on, how much cooked onion per portion, and then I've got it on video. So, as you can tell, a lot of the videos that I do are purely for me. So about 40 grams worth of cooked onion. Call it 50 for the sake of ease. So 50 grams worth of cooked onion. And then this is the cooking juice. I made some meatloaf. It was delicious. So this is leftover cooking juices from the cooked meatloaf. And then I did a roast chicken last week. And so that's the juices from the chicken as well. So we'll utilise that to cook this. So to keep them in shape, we'll just put them all at one end, and they will hopefully not unroll as they cook. So those like that, this like this, and then slow braise in the oven. I think 150 degrees for 3 hours, something like that. They did on the videos that I didn't really watch, that interested in. Well, I didn't pay that much attention to the videos. I presume they tied them up. Well, I saw someone tying them up, so they probably should tie them up and then probably give them a little bit of a fry before you cook them. But I think they'll be fine like this. And we're always on a little bit of a budget, so the more time that I spend doing something, the more I have to charge. So if I can cut down the amount of time that I'm doing something, then I can cut down on the amount of money that I charge people. But anyway, so we'll slow braise those tomorrow. About 3 hours, 150 degrees. We'll see how they turn out. I think they'll be nice actually, but we'll see. Ooh, they've had about 3 hours at 150 degrees. Turn them over because we were losing liquid. So I just basted them slightly, so they'll look a bit dry, but when I cook them properly, what I'll do is I'll put more liquid in. And I think 80 grams isn't enough. I think it needs to be 100 grams per portion. So let's see. Yeah, I think that was a big one, wasn't it? So I think that was 80 grams. So 100 grams to be generous. They don't have to eat it all. I think so. Like my philosophy on things is I'll always send out extra food. There's always extra food in case more people turn up. And also, you know, if you're sending out soup, it's not that much more of a cost. So if I'm cooking for 30 people, I'll send extra soup out. So I'll make soup for 45, 50 people, and then people can have a second bowl of soup. The cost involved in making the soup is not that much. and it doesn't take that much more time to make, like to double the quantity of soup. It doesn't take twice the time to make double the quantity of soup. You know, so, and I think that generosity just pays it forward. You know, like people get a little bit more, and if they want they don't feel like hard done by or anything like that. If they get an extra bowl of soup, people can take the mickey, and they feel entitled to extra things because people always want a little bit more. But I think you've got to be generous, haven't you? So, how does it taste? Well, that's delicious. That's delicious. Who would have ever have? Mind you, it's a tremendous cooking liquid, but that's lovely. That's lovely and soft. I don't think anyone will turn their nose up at that. At all. I might be able to serve that other functions as well. Yeah. So, that's lovely. I'm going to have that for my dinner tonight. I'm going to have it with some... I would serve it with mashed potatoes when I'm doing the function, but I'm going to have it with polenta tonight when I get in from swimming, because I'll be starving, and I think that'll be lovely. So the onions haven't completely so we can still see the onions are there. I'll get a plate and then we can show it. My phone's getting a bit old, so it doesn't things don't show up as well, and I'm not very technically minded. I'll bring it a bit closer up to the camera, so we can still see that the onions are there. You can't taste the mustard. I don't need to buy German mustard. We can just use some cheap English mustard from Lidl, I think, from the supermarket. But that's lovely. In fact, I didn't think it was going to taste as good as that. But anyway, that's delicious. That's success. And I certainly can cook it for the lady who's going to be 100 years old. And I hope, she'll be very pleased with it.